Hello there, I'm Sue Amsden, and I'm here today with Dr. David Sheridan. And today we're going to talk about how worship plays a big part in David's life here at Messiah. Welcome, David.
Hello, thank you.
You're welcome. So, tell me quickly, when did you begin as the choir director extraordinaire here at Messiah?
Well, I think it was in the summer of 2013 is when Father Abel asked me to lead the music program as the director of music, and after auditioning and going through the process, I began in the fall program year of 2013. So it's starting the fourth year now as the director of music, and then in my second year, Father Abel asked me to also add on the position as director of liturgy as well. So that's how I have those dual roles as director of music and also director of liturgy.
So how does music to you personally play a big part in your worship at Messiah?
Yeah, well, I mean, music is central to how I understand God and how I understand my own spirituality. So to me, being in worship is always completely connected to music, and music is really a vehicle to the divine for me, for how I understand what something makes something divine and being closer to God. So you know, music gets me in my heart, it gets me in my mind, it gets me in my whole body, and I think it just makes me feel like I am being closer to God, but also closer to others. So it's sort of central to how I understand community at Messiah.
It would be different if we didn't have music, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you go to a service that doesn't have music, you can get to a spiritual place as well, and it can happen in a way through silence, or through a way through more meditative qualities, which of course music can be meditative as well. But but I do think, you know, I love hymns so much, and I think not getting to sing the great hymns of the church, or hymns that are even not as well known, I would miss that if I had to go to church regularly and there wasn't that form of music to kind of bring me closer to what I consider to be, you know, in God's presence.
So do you think that here at Messiah, that kind of the way music is incorporated into the service makes us somewhat unique?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, I think that we're a little bit outside the box. We're not completely, I mean, we use traditional liturgy, and we have traditional hymnals that we use, and a lot of the music that we sing, the service music that we sing every week is from the Episcopal hymnal. But I do think we kind of are a little bit outside of a traditional parish, because we do have, of course, a part of our congregation that speaks Spanish, and that tradition is completely different than the sort of normative Episcopal tradition, and sort of blending that together. And then, of course, as many people know, Messiah is very eclectic and has people from a variety of backgrounds who come to Messiah. There's some people who come to Messiah who aren't sure what they believe. We have people who are from a Jewish background. We have different people from different faith traditions within Christianity, but not even from the Christian tradition. And so trying to meld that together allows for an eclectic sort of approach at various points, and I think that's where we get kind of some of the things that we do. I don't think we're like a super traditional Episcopal church, or, you know, that you might find on the East Coast or in the Midwest or something like that. But we are an Episcopal church, right? And we have a lot of that emphasis, and then we try to do things that are very traditionally Anglican as well, like for All Saints and for the various evensongs that we do, and then of course lessons and carols and things like that throughout the year. So I think I wouldn't say that we're outside of being in a regular Episcopal church, but we do have kind of a little bit of a different flavor on sometimes of the year.
So the theme of stewardship is one heart, many voices. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, well, I haven't thought about that, but I think to me it would connect to the idea that we are obviously we all have our different voices, we all have our different ideas, we have our own experiences, we have our own way that we come into worship. Everyone's week is always different. People drive from different places, people have different jobs, people are at different stages in their lives, right? And they're adding their voice to our corporate life together in worship and in community. But we all are at Messiah because we love Messiah and we love each other, right? And those things in tandem. And that's where we get to our one heart, right? And kind of being together in unison as we move through the church year and through the seasons. Even though we're coming from these different places, these disparate places, we all come together and sort of move as one. And so that's how I see it. And sometimes that happens more easily than others when we have issues that come up, or people feel differently about different ideas and different things that are happening in the larger world. But I think we're able to overcome some of those differences. That diversity is what makes this place such a beautiful place, because we do have a diversity of opinion on certain things, theological or political or whatever it might be, and we're able to listen to each other and come together and be together as one. To use that metaphor again.
Yeah, kind of makes it a safe place for everybody to come,
right?
Because they can feel that way.
Yeah, and I think that most people feel comfortable, regardless of what their background is or what their interpretation is, that there is space for them, and that can be tough too. That can be a challenge because it's maybe sometimes easier if everyone is in lockstep, right? But again, those hard questions, that diversity that comes from a divergence of opinion on a variety of things, really allows you to really experience God, I think, more deeply, because you recognize that we are all different, but we are the same too.
Mm-hmm. Well put. Thank you, Dr. Sheridan.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.